Okay. I must admit, just because you thought I loved you and you thought that I was gonna tell you I love you and commit that day, that I meant, you meant that I meant I love you when I already do love you. But for me to really break down that wall, which you thought, which I could think, and we can both think, hey, I have a really high up wall, right? It's not really that complicated, and it's actually just us making it real complicated because we're not communicating, that we're not having clear communication. So if it's just static and it blocks up the channels, but because you're gonna get hurt because because I didn't do something right as you thought I might have to do something right there and then. And how do you, and in order for me to have told you something like that, where I'm vulnerable, I don't want other people to see, I had to tell you I love you. And I didn't want to feel like the villain. And yeah, I love that day. When I got late, I must have been tired. You must have felt a lot through San Ramon being there. Feelings, I guess. Even at school. And me not saying what I wanted, what I need to say, so we can have that clear communication. Because communication is key for any relationship. But in order for me to say I love you, and not just be words, and then you just block me, I had to say, AZ, can I have your attention? I really need to know you're here. I'll be like, you know what? I actually love you. You probably knew this, or probably I was trying to hide it for like the 2 months we knew. But yeah, bro, I love you from day one. But in order for me to like move at that to another step, I had to tell you, I love you in my way. Because other than that, it's like now you having clear communication. It's just hope, 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 and we drown in our despair. We drown out of fear. The woman might feel abandoned, but the kid might feel attacked. So I felt shamed. You think I'm enough? But until I love you, in order to be that clear communication, then I can probably now. Then I could probably then there now move to the steps I need to take to be him. Oh, but I thought it was like a 3 minute YouTube short on my camera. Hey, but yeah, I had to be like, hey, I just didn't feel right because I was on drugs and then you're there looking so beautiful and you may be loud, I may be loud, but I'm not gonna be able to show my passion until I'm actually tell you my way. I love you. 'Cause for me, I love you are just words until we set our standard, that agreement, or even that projection of feelings or wants or whatever. But love will eventually work out, or what had eventually worked out, and I wouldn't be looked as this mess, or even you know. I feel like people think I'm already a mess right now. My mom, my dad, people from outside, people like, bro, I get my health like in a couple days or in a couple hours. One bad day does not make you Judas. One bad day does not make it be so much of you that it's you. But that's how I feel convicted. That's how I feel attacked. And that's how I feel convicted. That's how I feel attacked. And I'll just stay quiet, like having communication. Damn, and that's the gist. Just kidding. Actually, for me to show love, I have to tell you, either I'm in love, or else I'm just like, I do love, but I'm shy, or when is this chair gonna hop out his shell? I can like be there and be doing some things, and that's it. Or you might think I'm with a girl, and I'm in love, or she's my relationship, and it's not. You're like, oh, he fucked up already, so that makes him a bad guy. It's like, bro, what is normal? I never judged you, but you think I judged you. Like, our ideas of normal and how we think love is expressed is different. Like, I already know you like love shown in a fight because that's the way you will show love and battle for all the love you have to have for yourself, because that's how you can take your things for love. And sometimes you're fine, you can't even take your things. So that's where I stepped in. And fuck, I want to be in ring and like fight with you, but I'm not just gonna fight normal people. Not because I'm weak, just like Batman. I thought Superman was strong until he became cold, turned into stone because of kryptonite. But Batman, he's so merciful. The Dark Knight, well, I'm in the arc really. So Batman, he's so merciful. He's probably like, he didn't even deserve to die. The Joker. And then Catwoman's like, what you mean? He tried to kill you, but he didn't deserve to die. It's a different mind frame. Like, I get it. But, yeah, bro. Unless I have a real contract or commitment, when I finally say, hey, I really do love you, and this is me, now I can show you all my blessings that I'm going to put through, I'll do it. But I was going to, and that was what I was in my heart to do when I came off work from KFC. Like, I had already been said I was going to go to San Ramon that day, and I was going to go. But I didn't. And I also had a second idea. I'm going to tell I love you in these 2 or 3 days. I'm probably not going to tell you the first day in San Ramon, because then I have to, like, feel myself out, feel good, and I can hype myself up, but fill myself with full energy of honesty, and once if I do it, and something bad happens, I'm not gonna feel bad about it, because now we're actually in a true relationship where I say I actually do love you. And trust me, this is my perspective, even if you were open that day to receive that love, and I didn't give it, it wasn't because of anything you did wrong. Or maybe anything I did wrong, even because of the drugs. It wasn't because of anything I did wrong. It was just we had hopes of something, but we were stuck behind the moon in front of the sun, like in an eclipse. Like the moon's there, right? But it's dark, you can't see it. There's some shadow blocks it. And it's just like, oh, too bright. I'm not gonna do it today. Maybe tomorrow. I'll wake up less here. I'll feel more great to give you that energy. But other than that, I'm just hope until I'm feeling, hey, this is me, and this is what I like about you, and this is what I've actually been feeling. Other than that, I'm just drawing intelligent questions, not really being present, acting like my mind is in some other space, some other time. Maybe in the future, you think about like a wedding or all that, or saying, hey, you're giving. I feel you're giving so much good thing, even if you think I'm unstable or you're unstable. It's alright because what's normal? There's a lot of things that people say it's not normal, but it is normal. And I'll be the last one to judge. I just felt hurt because I knew I actually did love you, and I felt like, man, before she even gets to know me, you get to know me, I'm already being attacked based on an image you had thought and brought up of me because of how you felt in those minutes or a couple days. Felt in those minutes and all that. And then if I'm gonna give out my best work, I'm gonna be like, yo, here's my folder, and this is it. This is me. Finally see it. That I'm really interested. Now you're not left thinking, and I don't want any confusion. They say I might not show up my best to even talk. I went through some other things. Like, I might not have the best sleep. And I can't be you. Or I can't be there for you. Or I know I could be there for you. Like, people think I'm dumb. Like, what the fuck? You think I'm dumb, then? If you're not really vibing with me, why the fuck do I care about you? You can be right next to me. But, nigga, you never did anything for me. I never felt anything genuine from you. That's me talking in a situation of a different example, but it's not what I ever felt for you. The other girls at RTB or any other girls, like, bro, I already know if I really do like them. I can probably get like 8 of the 10 girls and do that. But a girl, if there's 10 guys, most of those girls will only go for 2 of those top 10 guys. And people don't really know what I really have up my hands, up my sleeves. They just see the cover of a book. They haven't even opened it. We haven't gotten to know each other. That's why I was so shocked. Like you're trying to put on your best effort. I'm trying to put on my best effort. Oh yeah, let's go to the gym. But we're actually committed, or we pay for something and put something on the line. All that positive reinforcement, it doesn't matter. That's why relationships need a clear communication, real key. Yeah, that's why it was hard for me to say I love you. But I was gonna tell you those 2 or 3 days, and I make it wait till December. Because I would say something smart, because if I'm not present for you, I'm not present for you. I'm just like it just feels like you're talking to a phone, or coping some other way. I want to be there forever for all your mistakes and all the problems you females face. I'm gonna choose one. If I was gonna choose it, I was gonna choose it like that. I was a boy, man. I wasn't like brought up into this. Yeah, I was nervous, bro. I'm not gay and all that shit. I don't care what other people think or what you think until I'm actually being clear and honest for you. Other than that, I'm just wearing a massive hope. Other people, I'm like, well, I'm not technically anything for you until I say I might actually already be everything, and you might already be everything for me. But it's just a wall of confusion. Love is communication. Love is present. And love is not fear. Fear doesn't wait. But sometimes we want it so now. That fruit, the apple, that we don't get, we get upset. And the man's to blame. Oh, you're not this, you're not this, you're not this. Or he was like, don't touch me. I could have touched you, and maybe who's to say that wouldn't have made it better. Right? See? We think, oh, I'm not deserving of this. Who's to say you're not deserving of this? Who's to say you're not that? Love is different in a relationship. A job is a different thing, because that requires tasks and all that shit. But man, that's what I'm facing, bro. And I was thinking that you're such a mess, because I'm losing clear communication, because I'm actually talking about things I want to talk to you about. Like other things. Real things, like how does it feel to grow up and move out of your parents' house and always seeking to find something else in the streets? Like, I read a story. Here, let me share it. And look, right now, what's important right now is that like, my phone is 4K, bro. I could just go on HD. 4K is like fucking heck of megabytes. But I'm not gonna edit it out. Anyways, this is a book. I forgot when I got it. But sometimes God has a kid's face. And there's a chapter, hear this out. Hear me out. I ain't gonna explain it. I'm just gonna read it. Dear Lord, I believe in you, but I am so confused about where I'm going. All I know is where I've been. I am so scared and I have no one to talk to but myself. And I hide my feelings in my music. A prayer written by a kid in our Covenant House Chapel. These are but stories from kids from, I guess, a group home or some group that helps these foster children, and they made a book about it. And down here, look, chapter 10. Okay. I want to be somebody someday, she said. Reminds me of someone. I don't know if I should show you this, she said, biting her lip. She said, biting her lip. It's kind of personal, she said, biting harder. Please don't laugh at me, she said. She leaned down and rummaged her hands through the back side of the bottom dresser drawer in her bedroom. Slowly, gently, ever so meticulously, she began to pull spiral notebooks out of the drawer. First one, then two, then three, until she had pulled out 6 notebooks in all. She faced me again. 6 notebooks, stacked precariously in her arms, and she began to open her mouth to talk to me, but the words were barely able to trickle out. Here's the first one, she said, handing me the top notebook in a whisper so soft I could barely make out her words. And the second, she whispered on, was 10 pounds of lined paper in my arms, and 100 questions racing through my head. The tears which began to fill her eyes told me that I had been entrusted with something no one else had ever seen before. I cleared my throat and smiled my thanks. These look very important. These look very important, I said. Thank you for letting me see them, I said. Could you and I look at them together? I said. I spoke to her not knowing what was inside me. What was inside the... Smiled. It's like me reading this smile. There's some numbers about what a book can say. Oh, sorry. That was written in the book. I just put that, but... And told her how proud I was of her again. I'm gonna read. Let's go back a little lines. Oh, shit. Oh, I spoke to her not knowing what was inside the books, but knowing I had to find out. Because the girl had left like a stack of papers after those notebooks. Okay, so. Thanks. Knowing I had to find out. Thanks, her eyes said. That would be nice, they said. But please, I hope you won't laugh at me, her eyes said. Do you want to look at this one first? I asked, taking the top notebook from the pile. No, she said, reaching out her hands and grabbing the bottom book in the stack. The book had a big number 1 on the front cover. This is where it all kind of started, she said. I started writing about 2 years ago, she said, when I was still out on the street. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I thought I was going to burst, so I just started writing, she said, almost apologetically. The stuff inside here is pretty tough, she said. I opened the pages and began to turn them slowly, reading the words as quickly as I could. The pages were creased and folded and smudged. The words that filled each page were almost like artwork. They were sketched so beautifully and carefully. The content hurt a lot to read. Sometimes God has a kid's face. The content hurt a lot to read. This is one of her things in her notebook. I am so alone, so desperate. so lonely. One passage began on page 4. Why have I ended up like this? What have I done wrong? Help me understand. God, why doesn't anyone love me? Question mark. Another passage near the end of the first notebook spoke of her desperation and her pain. It's been 2 months now since I ran away from the abuse that was killing me at home. I wonder what it must be like for other kids who never have to run away. What must it be like to spend a night in a warm bed, safe and secure? I would give anything not to be sleeping in a subway tonight. Anything, ... I put the first notebook down and told her how much I felt the pain she was feeling when she wrote each word. Shayla's life had not been easy. She had come to us 2 months ago, a scared and alone and urgently desperate kid. My father used to do awful things to me, she told me that first night. He used to beat me a lot, she said, and other stuff, she said. He used to beat me a lot, she said, and other stuff, she said. I was scared he was going to kill me. I thought I was going to die, she told him. Terrified of dying at home, Shalia fled to the street, searching for a better life. Instead, she found almost all kids she find on the street. A lonely, sometimes very dark world, filled with pimps and pushers and pornographers who make a livelihood out of feeding off scared kids like Shalia. Excuse me, I need to get some water. Like Shalia. What this world can do to an innocent kid is heartbreaking to see. Inevitably, kids like Shalia find themselves turning inward, actively wondering whether they are to blame for what had happened to them. Maybe I'm bad. These kids begin to say to themselves, maybe I do deserve to be abused. Maybe I do deserve to be unloved. Maybe I do deserve to die on the street. Can you imagine being a teenage kid and feeling that kind of self-doubt and pain? I looked at Shalia, and she looked back and tried to smile. I think she knew what I was thinking about and how much I was probably hurting for her inside. I smiled and told her how proud I was of her again. Here, she said, I think you'll like this. Here, she said, I think you'll like this. Reading faces. And then she handed me a book marked with a big 4 on the outside. This is when things get better, she said. Here, start here, she said, pointing to a page midway through the notebook. Like you, let me say, we can probably go to San Ramon early in the morning. I didn't get as much sleep. You said, not in the book. Okay. So the girl, Shalia, handed, I haven't even read the whole book. I just opened it today. And I'm guessing she's a kid or an adult. You're talking to someone at that program, counselor or whatever, a mentee. Probably not me, but probably me in spirit, right? This is when things get better, she said. Here, start here, she said, pointing to a page midway through the notebook. I looked down at the page. It was filled with big exclamation marks at the top and hearts. Why don't you read this part out loud, she said. Shalia had wrote this in the notebook. The 4 notebook. The number 4 on it. She said, read this. I did it today. It began. I finally decided to go to this place some other street kids were telling me about, Covenant House. I don't know exactly what it is about this place, but for the first time in a long time, I feel a little at peace, even hopeful. Everyone here is so nice. They've given me food and they told me I was welcomed. And they've let me pick out some clean clothes. And tonight, I'm actually going to sleep on a clean bed for the first time in. I forget how long it's been. I kind of feel like crying tonight. I'm so happy, but I don't think it's going to last. The good things in life never do. I looked over at Shalia, and I could see the tears beginning to run down her face. The memory of that moment, the feelings of hope, desperation, contentment, fear, came back to her as if it had happened yesterday.